Hello, welcome. Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Cup Goodle. I'm a sentient cup of noodles. Today I'm going to be doing some quiet, relaxed, busy work. I'm going to be making some cards for a card game that I'm working on. And I decided to use my ASMR mic for it so that it might be a relaxing time for all of us together. I need to try and get my ASMR voice down. It's not something that I usually do, but if I do a low breathy voice like this, it tends to be a bit better, a bit good for ASMR. And so yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for today's stream. If this is uncomfortable or bothersome, if the sound levels are not good, then feel free to tell me. Because what I'm going to be working on today, as you can see right here, is a card game that I'm working on. It is based on the video game Dicey Dungeons, which, if you see a card like this and see a little square in the middle that says Max 2, you can probably guess that that's what it's based on if you're already a fan of it yourself. If you are a fan of Dicey Dungeons, then a card like this might already be familiar. Not necessarily in the direction. This is in landscape mode as opposed to portrait mode. Now, the card game that I'm making bases it was inspired by Dicey Dungeons. It's based on a lot of the same rules. It is basically I really love Dicey Dungeons, and I wanted to be able to play it as a tabletop campaign, as a tabletop game with other party members. I want a full party of all 6 characters. You know, not just the fighter, not just the thief. I would like to be able to do a game with all 6 of them, if possible. And so, I am designing cards and a rule set that will hopefully work very, very well with something like Dicey Dungeons, something like a multiplayer Dicey Dungeons. I've been writing rules for myself, and today I'm just going to be doing a little bit of busy work, designing the cards for it, the equipment cards for it. You see, since this is designed to be on a tabletop, it's a little different than just for a video game. You need to be able to see everyone's cards all at once very, very easily. The text needs to be big. The numbers need to be legible. And it needs to be not just good to one person, but to multiple people. And the enemies as well. They need to be visible to everyone at the table. So, they can be simple like this. This is a template of a card that I think will be fine for the game. You can see it has a title at the top. It has Max 2, which is what you need to roll with a die a 6-sided die for it, and then a description of what happens. Do 1 damage and add 1 poison to each enemy. So, my task today, there's going to be cards of different colors, and I want to figure out the exact coloring for all of them. This is, I think, a very good red so far. I really like the color of this red. Let's save this. There we go. Now, this is perfectly divided into 4 here, thanks to these grids. So one of the things that I can do is figure out the other necessary colors for other types of cards. This red card here is a damaging card. Coughing Dust Bomb itself is going to be a different color to represent status effects. But I have to decide if it's going to be a green for poison or if it's going to be something else. So we're going to copy and paste this over towards the left, and then we are going to experiment with colors. So let's copy paste this. And move this on over here. Oh, it's actually not perfect. I need to reassess some things. Well, actually no. This should still be fine, even if it isn't exactly halfway. Oh, that's why. It's because it was not snapping to the grid. We want it to snap to that grid just like that. And there we have it being absolutely perfect. Not totally snapped to the grid. Well, you can see that it goes a little bit over the grid, so that's perfectly fine. There we go. I think that should be good. Oh, that's right. There is another layer onto which to do it. And we need to move that one as well. It has to be over the other. Here we are. And that is perfect, perfectly aligned. It's funny, you can see the purple underneath, but I don't hate that. Honestly, it looks like a nice little border. So, our goal for this is to design the different colors. I know I want a purple for buffs, things that buff you. So in fact, I might be able to... No, I should keep this copy, but I can use this color as a base. This is basically one of my colors. It's a cup Goodle color. So let me adjust this. Now we want a nice saturated enough color that white text will appear very nicely on it. That is the goal. And if it's light colored, for black text to appear well. This is a pretty good color right here. Because if we copy this, and move it over here, you can see that the colors still are very, very evident. They're very, very apparent. And so I would say that that is a successful purple color. We could decide on something else though if we wanted. I think maybe I want it a little bit bluer. This might not be super visible to people. So let's try a few other varieties. That is a little bit worse, I think. Well, it's brighter, certainly. We'll keep trying. That might be good. I need to make sure that the text in every area is very legible. I think this might be good. Here, it is legible, but the purple, this magenta purple, is very close to the red in terms of hue, I think. Or in terms of value. And so a black and white, I think they would look the same in black and white or to people with color blindness. But this, I think that the values are very different, and it's still very legible. So we will use that for now. Oh wait. I accidentally colored the wrong bit, I think. I colored in that outer layer. But let's see what happens if I fill in this instead. Honestly, that looks pretty good. I think I might keep it like that. So that can be a buff. It could also be a poison. Poison could be purple, or it could be green. It might need to be poison or pink, because healing is most likely going to be green. What color would I make this? If not, it's definitely not legible. What if I made it darker purple? Such as the outline. Could be a dark purple like that. Wow, that's completely illegible. Let's try and decrease it even more. Here we go, let's experiment. Still not very visible. I'm guessing that I will want to use the chartreuse color here for the poison. But as for how to differentiate it between it and healing, I'm not entirely sure. I'll just have to do my best. Now, another color that we were going to use was a brownish color or an orangish color for protection, like a shield. So let's go to this one. And we'll pick an orangey, brownish color, such as this. Oh dear. It'll probably need to be a little darker. Well, it doesn't seem bad, but it will be a task to... It needs to be slightly more legible. It will be a task to try and make it legible with all of the text. As you can see, the light green there is not as legible on here as it is on other ones. It's still fairly legible, but I think we might need to go a bit darker. Something like that, actually. Seems like it would be pretty good. I wonder if that's too dark to be pleasing, but I think it's okay. That is too light. We're going for legibility here. Well, actually, a brighter orange. This is definitely the status effects in text are more legible. But this orange is still pretty legible. And it's more pleasing to look at. It also seems, I think it might be different in value. Let me color pick this and put a small rectangle here. Rectangle. Let's fill in circle there. Just so we have a color to match it with later, so we can see both colors that we want. I have a feeling I'm going to be going with the brighter orange. So let's go with that first. And let's do a little circle here. That is the darker color. And of course, the border. We need to have a much darker color. Even darker than that. Yeah, around like there. Maybe a bit more saturated of an orange. The borders aren't very different. I think we'll go with that one for now. I think that that is the best of them so far. Now let's copy and paste our two red ones again. And it looks like it is all matched up well. Okay. Here we are. Let's get it on there correctly. isn't this going on correct? That's very strange. It is not snapping to the grid. But luckily we have the crosshairs right there and able to see it. Go there well. And we can trust, even if it is a pixel or two off. That is perfectly fine, because we are working with way too large of cards compared to what is necessary. Okay, now there are a couple other colors that we wanted to use. I suppose status effect things, except maybe for shock, could be done as a low blue, a bluish color, but that would not be, all these colors would be very, very dark. Blue can be blind, blue can be freeze. Well, let's try it. I'm definitely going to want a darker one. That one snapped well, because although it is visible right now, let's try a few other things. Now, I suppose the borders don't always have to be darker. The borders could be lighter than the interior of the card. This red is very easy to look at, as is this purple. This orange-brown is slightly less easy to look at. This blue is decent to look at, but I feel like it needs to be a lighter hue like that. that I think is easier on the eyes, and you can still see fairly well. This is a tough call. I want the status effects to be able to be very visible. Here they are pretty visible, but slightly less visible. Here they are very visible. This card is nicer to look at though. And this card is a little bit easier to read. Which of these two do I want? For now, we might end up changing them a little bit later. I think this one, I'm feeling this one. I don't know if we can make this even lighter. It's not... Well, I suppose we could do something like that. Somehow, even though these are totally different colors and they are all fairly saturated, they don't feel saturated. They feel muted, like they are very, very similar in value. Perhaps something will need to change. But let's save. And we need to open up a new page, a new tab. This one was, we're calling it Dicey Dunces as a little homage to Dicey Dungeons. And also, my brother recommended the name as to use dunce. Because it's funny. Okay. I think this should work fine. Good, there are two. Now we want to do a green color. For healing. So let's go to the purple one. This is a traditional one, like the others. And let's pick a green color. I guess this one we accidentally just did it on the top layer. Let's delete let's make a new layer. A little bit too far to the left. There we go. That's lined up nicely. Very unfortunate, this is just very, very slightly off. That should be fine. Yeah, that's on all the corners correctly. Well, that green certainly breaks things up. We will need a type of green where the text is very, very legible. This, like this, would not be. This is a little bit better. That's quite a bit better for legibility. This is, I feel like, a similar value to the others. This one is definitely a deeper forest. This darker color does not really resonate as healing, but a softer color does a bit. It's still fairly legible. I don't think we'll be able to go with a really bright one like that. That's very dark though, now that I look at it. Oh, that's the same color, is it? It's very similar to our original color. It's just somewhere in the middle of them. This one is the most drab, but the best legible. This one is the most exciting while still being legible, but that text is not very legible. Here, that text is a bit more legible, and it's a little bit less. It's a middle ground. Let's go with this for now, and let's make ourselves 2 circles. One here. And one here. With our various possibilities for green. Slightly lighter, slightly darker. The red is the only one that I'm sure of at the moment. I really like that red color. It's a little pinkish. I like the blue. And now, one last possibility. We've done purple, a green. Oh, we need to do the border. That's fine for now. All of them are having this purple interior because Krita is as a roster. Krita is a roster program and it's a bad one at filling. A bad one at filling in pixels. But, you know what, that border looks kind of nice on a lot of them. So I'm not too upset. The little white, uncolored part and there is the issue. We'll have to go in with a pen and add another layer and flatten them. Okay, let's see our blue here. Good. Now the only last color that we could possibly do, well, light blue and yellow. We could do something else for... Actually, the poison one here could be the poison, and the blue one here could be buffs, miscellaneous things. And that leaves one other status effect thing. Unless we do purple for all of them. But I don't think that would be a good idea. We'll have to experiment. Not very legible, is it? It's very similar to the brown-orange if we do it like this. That's not terrible. It's not super legible, but it's also not unlegible. Illegible. We would need a different color for the poison, but it's not awful. It might be annoying, though. Oh, that's a little bit better. Just a small change, but it's better. One of these two, definitely not that one, either that one or that one. The difference is very small, but it's an important one. That is, of course, assuming that this monitor that I'm using, that it will look the same on other monitors. And of course it won't. This is a very tough decision, which matters very little. I'll go with that for now. I will go with this slightly darker one. And make just a little circle. Here. Darn. It fills in everything. Perhaps we can fill this in ourselves. There we go. Good, you can see it is slightly different. Such a tiny difference, but an important one for me. All these dark yellows don't look very good. I think I'll go with this for now. Maybe the green should be... I guess not for now. For now, we can just have this, like this. It's a tough one. Because shock is going to be a status move. I think I might need to use blue for all status effect moves. Shock, blind, and freeze. I could do it for poison as well. Let me see here. Would that work for shock and freeze? I think it works for shock, yeah. I think it works for freeze. Might need it to be a little bit more visible. But as long as it is legible and you can tell from a distance by the color what it is, I think that's fine. Because then people can see that it does freeze and they will go and investigate. Now, what would blind be? Let's try and figure out something for blind. We could do a gray card, but blind could be the yellow one. As opposed to being dark blinded, it could be light blinded. That's not bad like that. Using yellow for blind. I think it could also be shock like that. Now let's see if this works for blind as well. There wouldn't be anything else besides black on yellow. I don't think I would use red. I don't think I would use a purple Well, actually, I take that back. Let me see. A purple. It might work. A purple like that might work for blind. Shock and blind could be yellows. Freeze could be blue. Poison could be purple. But that would leave shock and blind together. Poison and freeze separate, and nothing for buffs. We have 3 colors and 4 status effects. And one of the colors should be for buffs, so really we have 2 colors. A yellow, well, 2 colors, and one of them, 1 card for 2 status effects, another card for 2 status effects. What do I want to do though? Yellow would not be poison. Purple would be poison if anything. Purple would not be freeze though. Blue would be freeze. And shock and blind would be the others. Is there any other color I could do? Not very many good primary colors left besides a bright pink, but I don't think I want to use bright pink for anything. A cyan teal would be fine, but already using that for freeze damage. if I do this way, poison and blind on purple, shock and freeze on blue. That wouldn't be bad. And then yellow for buffs. I feel like that is less color thematic. But better for the color legibility of the status effects. As long as we can find a good color for blind on purple. Nope, not that one. That one is not quite legible enough. Maybe it needs to be brighter. I don't think bright letters is good. But maybe it needs to be brighter. That's not quite brighter. I'm doing stuff on another window, maybe you can't see. Yeah, that's not really brighter. Like a bubble gum. It's all the same. So that color for the blindness, it would work if we wanted it to. It's not ideal. It's not very legible. from afar, but I suppose neither is the light blue. Now, if I wanted to do all the status effects on the blue, what would it be? The same pinkish? I don't think that's super apparent enough from afar. It needs to be a little bit brighter. I think the darker pink works a little bit better. If I do this darker pink, then it will be more obvious that there is a status effect on there. I do the slightly brighter one. A lot of people are just going to think, actually, you know what? I'm looking at my other screen here. It's not very obvious that it's a status effect. It's a little too close to the other text. It might need to be even darker. Maybe. Let's do just this one. when you're looking out at this thing, it is fairly easy to see that pink for the ad. It is not that easy to see the lighter pink on the and. All the other status effect colors, though, are very obvious, and that's very helpful. If we did this, the status effects of blind and shock would be very visible, especially since you know which card you go to the yellow card for them. So, blind and shock, poison and freeze. This will have to be a problem for another day. Today this is the end of our ASMR stream. I was able to get a lot of different color work done, where we were able to experiment with a lot of different things. And I'm excited with some of the color choices. I think that I'll be able to do these and use these for busy work after I settle on specifically which colors to end up using. But we have found the ones that would work if we decided to go for them. So, thank you very much for coming to my ASMR stream today. I hope that you are all have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you all another one of these nights this week, whenever I'm free. Keep a lookout for it, and I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful night and a relaxing evening. Take care.